guys, I got a request from Erica M. Her Instagram account is WimmyRose4 to do a tutorial on how to teach your horse to kneel. Now, this is kind of a 3 to 4 step process. So your horse needs to be able to bow, and I'll show you a little bit of how I taught the bows to lead into this, but if you have any questions on that, I can answer those, but we're gonna do this as if a horse already knows how to bow. And yeah, so the things that I use to teach this, you can do this completely at liberty. I have a halter on him today, but you can do this completely at liberty, no problem. I like to use a little dressage whip to help with my cues. It gets a little bit complicated in the kneel if you don't use a dressage whip, because we are going to ask them to basically bow on one knee and then take the other knee and bow on it. And it's really hard if you have a touching command with that other knee. If you have to touch them with your hand, you have to reach over and it's awkward. A lot easier if your horse is good with the dressage whip. So to start this, I'm going to teach my horse to bow on both knees, and then we're going to kind of put it together. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the steps that I took. So the first step to teaching a bow generally is going to be to get them to lift their foot with just the tap of the crop. So I'm going to back them up a little bit so you guys can see this a little better. Good boy. Hope you guys can see this okay. But basically I'm going to take my dressage whip and I'm going to tap his leg and ask him to lift it. That's the wrong one. He knows Spanish walk, so that's why he's going to do this a little bit goofy, but good. So just asking for him to lift the leg, and then he should be able to do that on the other side as well. Good. Lift it more. Good. And the other leg. That's good. And the other one. Good. So that's going to be my first step. The next step, I like to park my horses out before I make them bow. And that's just to give them a command before asking them to bow, so that when you pick up a foot, it doesn't always mean bow. So I'm going to ask him to park out. Good. So once he knows how to park out, I am going to want him to bow with both feet forward. Makes it a little bit easier to get him into the other bows. So I'm going to ask him to bow with 2 feet forward. Go ahead, bow. Tiny, easy, bow. Parking a little more. Then he bow. Good boy, bow. Good, all the way. Okay. Good boy. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and adjust my video a little bit here. So hopefully you guys can see this a little bit better. There we go. All right. So my next step is teaching him to bow with 1 foot back. So back him off here. We'll go ahead and park him out. And before you teach the kneel, they should be able to bow completely down by tapping the crop and not needing to actually pick up their foot and hold it. So I'm going to tap with the crop and ask him to bow with 1 foot back. Go ahead. He's a little lazy today. We'll see how he goes. Okay. Bow. Bow. Good boy. Good boy. Bow. Good boy. Very nice. All right. So after he does that, I'm going to teach him to hold it. And this is okay if you can't get him to hold it right away with the crop. Usually I can, but he's being a little lazy, so I'm going to need a little bit extra encouragement. But I want to make sure that he can hold the bow. And I'm going to do that today just by holding his front foot. Good boy. I'm going to ask for the bow. I'm going to hold it just just ask him to hold it and say, okay, good. I know that if I have him hold it too long, he's gonna go into the kneel, because he knows that. So that's why I didn't have him hold it. But I wanna just make sure that he's gonna put weight on that knee. That's the biggest thing with that. Then I'm gonna make sure that he can do it on the other side. He doesn't bow very well on the other side anymore, because he knows that when he uses that foot, it's a kneel now. But we will see if I can get him to do it today. Again, he's kind of lazy, so I don't know how much he's gonna want to do this, but we will try. He's gonna park out. Good boy. And we go to the other side. And I'll ask him to bow on this knee. Good boy. And bow. Bow. Yeah, not his favorite on this side, but he'll do it. There we go. Good boy. Okay. Very nice. All right, so now he knows tapping with the crop means pick up a foot. He knows how to bow on both sides, and he knows how to put weight on both knees. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my crop. I'm gonna ask him into the bow on the side that he's better at. So the one that he's more stable, I'm going to ask him into the bow. I'm gonna hold this foot to tell him to hold it, and then I'm gonna tap the other leg with my crop. Good boy. And you notice there, he didn't put his foot all the way back. That's okay. Just for a little demonstration, you might get a horse that they bow down, they're like this, and then they're gonna hop on this foot. So they're gonna be really uncomfortable. This foot's gonna move around. If they move that foot that's extended, release, let them up. It's gonna be a slow process. They might not wanna put that foot back all the way. Also make sure you're on really soft dirt, because this could actually hurt their knees. So make sure that you're either in soft grass or soft dirt when you're doing this, just to protect their knees. Once I get him into the kneel, I'm gonna release right away and let him up. I'm not gonna make him hold it. Once I do decide that it's time for him to hold it, I can teach him to what I call pray like a camel. So I'm gonna ask him into a kneel here. Good boy. I'm gonna warn him that it's a kneel by tapping his other leg. No, that wasn't quite right. That's all right. We're gonna try again. He was thinking lay down for that one and got up too soon because he didn't realize that we were doing a kneel command. Good, all the way, and kneel. Good, and then I'm gonna ask him to extend out. Okay, okay. Okay, he's still thinking lay down. We're gonna see if we can get this right. Like I said, he's a little lazy today, so lay down sounds like an awesome command to him right now. I'll do it one more time, see if we can get a good kneel. All right. Park him out. Oh, so lazy today. Good boy. Good boy. And this trick can lead to a lay down, as you can see with Lenny, it does. Ask him down. Good boy. Ask for the kneel. All the way. Good boy. And then I'm going to ask him to stretch out by following a tree. Good boy. And then I'll say, okay, and let him up. Good. Good job. So this is actually, it's a trick. It takes a while, so be patient. Take what your horse will give you. If your horse is having a lazy day like him, don't push it too much. It takes a lot of mental and physical strength to get it done. So be patient and release for whatever your horse will give you. If they just move that extended foot a little bit, release. If they do it 3 times in a row but they don't kneel, be done. For some horses, like Lenny, he picked it all up in a day after he had already known how to bow on both sides. First time I asked, first day, he did do it. I've had other horses that won't kneel for a long time, or they'll be really awkward about it. I've seen horses take months of doing it every day to really perfect it. So just be patient. Your horse will get it, especially if they already know how to bow. It's something they will figure out. So stick with it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, or you can find me on Facebook at Russell Corner Ranch, or you can find me on Instagram at russell.corner.ranch. Thanks, guys.